Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. So in this video, we're going to be talking about a particular scenario that recently happened here in the UK. And this particular individual needs your advice, needs your thoughts around what to do. And this is because he just recently got a notification from the Home Office that he is required to leave the UK or secure a new sponsorship within the next 60 days. And this situation is quite dicey. And I think it has really become a trend among immigrants living and working in the United Kingdom, especially for those who are on a main applicant visa and those who are also on a dependent visa here in the United Kingdom. It's really, really sad situation. I got this email I think about a week ago, close about 7 days ago, and it's quite disheartening. I mean, going through the whole situation, having conversation with the person involved, it's really, really sad. And this person has got 60 days left to leave the country, and there's been a lot of activities, calls going on right now to ensure that he's able to get a new visa that allows him to stay back in the United Kingdom without necessarily having to go back to his home country. So probably want to hear your thoughts, your comments, about this situation. If you know someone who has been in this current situation also, how were they able to go past the situation? Yeah, just want to get your thoughts about this in the comment section. And if you're coming across this channel for the first time, remember to hit on the subscribe button. By returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. The current situation now is that the main applicant, who happens to be the wife, recently reported the husband to the Home Office that the relationship between herself and the husband is no longer valid, and she would like to have him taken off visa since he's one of the dependent on that particular visa. Now, it's quite easy to judge the situation. Just hearing that, oh, the wife reported the man to the Home Office, but it's actually also cool to get to have an understanding of what was the background story, what really happened, and what do you think needs to be done? Personally, the person who contacted me is actually the man who is the dependent, and yeah, reading through the whole situation, it's quite a sad thing, and I think yeah, I just want to hear your thoughts and your comment. I'll also share my own comment and thoughts also towards the end of the video. So let's read through what exactly happened. Now, this guy and his wife, they've been married for about 5 years, and they decided to move into the United Kingdom. Now, the wife, who is a skilled IT professional, she was able to secure herself a skilled worker visa here in the UK, and she allowed her husband to come in with her as a dependent. They've got two kids, and they're hoping to build a better life here in the United Kingdom. Now, at first, when they first came into the UK, everything seems fine. She had a thriving job. She at least within the 2 years that they've been in the UK, she only got one promotion. Everything seems to be fine with the family. And the husband being independent, I mean, he struggled a little bit trying to transition into the UK job market. And while they came into the UK, the man has been working as an healthcare assistant and trying to make ends meet and all of those interesting things. Now the thing now is that the wife seems to be the higher earner in the family, and the man works as an healthcare assistant. He needs to help with childcare, and because the wife is the main applicant, I mean, of course, her job is going to be the priority because her job is what keeps the entire family in the United Kingdom. So the man being independent is required to help with the child support, dropping the kids at school, picking them off, taking them back home after school, picking them up. This affected how much work he could do, and his earning capacity was quite low. So the wife seems to be earning more than the man in the family. Now, at some point, the wife felt that the husband wasn't contributing enough to their household, while she believes that what the man himself believes that the wife has become controlling, which was not the situation when they were back in Nigeria. Back in Nigeria, the man was the high earner and the wife was just supporting. But when they came into the UK, the wife becomes the higher earner and the man, was just supported also, which was even, I mean, the role was reversed when they came into the UK. And because the man couldn't work, I mean, he knew they had capacity to earn more, but he couldn't because he needs to take care of the children and the wife needs to work. You get what I mean? So he couldn't do a lot of work. He could only work night shifts, and for some night shifts, imagine going through night shifts, and in the morning you have to take care of the kids, to take them to school, pick them up, and you probably still need to go for another night shift. So he couldn't really work much. So was earning a little bit low compared to what the wife was earning. So the wife felt he wasn't contributing enough to the family, which I think she should have been understanding, but she felt he wasn't contributing enough to the family. Then the man then felt the wife was becoming unnecessarily controlling, and this led to so many arguments. The marriage started to have issues. They start every morning with arguments. They end every day with arguments, and it was really, really becoming, annoying. Now, according to him, he said the argument became frequent, and their love turned into resentment. So the man wasn't happy having to live his life back in Nigeria to come into the UK, only for the wife to become controlling because she knew that his right to live and work in the United Kingdom is dependent on her and her job. So when the man complains that, oh, I can't do this things because I'm taking care of the kids, what do you want me to do? And the wife will, respond and say things like, oh, you actually take care of the kids, which are also your own kid, and I can't do those things because I'm working, and my job is what gives us the right to live and work in the United Kingdom. So it's just because it to be messy. And one day after a very terrible argument, she decided she had had enough. Out of anger and frustration, she contacted the Home Office, claiming that their marriage had broken down and that her husband was no longer entitled to stay in the UK. She even alleged that he was trying to use her to secure his own immigration status. Now, of course, according to him, during the course of one of the arguments, the man was like, "Oh, is it because you're on a visa? I'm on your visa. That's why you're treating me terribly. I'm going to try to get my own visa so that you don't have to feel that um you become lord over myself." So I think one of those things made her realize that if this man decides to get his own visa, he could choose to walk away from the marriage, and she'll be at the losing end. So out of that anger, the frustration, she contacted the Home Office to report to the man that he is no longer allowed to be on our visa. It's time for him to, leave the country because it's practically, according to her, useless to him. Now, because of the report to the Home Office, you know, the husband got an email from the Home Office that his visa has been revoked and he has a limited time to, you know, stay back in the country, and or is required to get a new visa for himself. So according to the letter that was received a couple of days ago, he's got 60 days to go back to his home country, or try to get a new visa for himself before the 60 days expires. But that's the thing, in my opinion, I think this is becoming a trend gradually, especially among immigrants living and working there in the UK. So many people are beginning to lose the value of family. They're beginning to, have so many issues. I mean, in the last 3 months, we've had so many situations, especially with immigration lawyer I work with. We've got so many situations whereby people who were married, happily married back in their home country, when they got into the UK, and probably, roles get reversed or responsibility get reversed. It's like having issue that sometimes, or in most situations, end up to, you know, lead to the family splitting. And I think these are things that were actually avoidable if, proper conversation is entertained and people willing to kind of compromise on some levels. Yeah, it's quite understandable that in most situations you could be the higher earner in the family back in your own country. When you get into the UK, it's possible that things get reversed or responsibility get changed. I think it's important for us to be able to accept that reality and find a way to walk through the situation without necessarily having to break. So many marriages are really, really struggling at the moment. I mean, I personally think getting to the level of reporting to the Home Office is not really a good idea. Now, imagine that this man eventually didn't get a new visa and is required to go back to his home country. How is she planning to manage herself, her job, and the children? Now, with the way the childcare system work in the UK, trust me, it's not easy. If you want to break up and you're not with kids, it still makes sense. I mean, there are little or no repercussion for that. However, if you're breaking up a marriage with children involved, you need to have a backup plan because now, let's say the man goes back to his home country, how is she going to be able to drop the children at work, drop the children at school? How is she going to pick them up while still maintaining a full-time job that sponsored her visa? So it's going to be a lot of work for her, and I think she probably didn't think through the whole situation properly before making that decision. And I mean, she's going to struggle a whole lot if the man had to leave. And the little contribution I think the man is making, which in our opinion, she's measuring the contribution based on the man's financial strength, she's actually going to regret those decisions. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is how is this man going to get a new visa? Now, luckily for the man, according to him, he was able to. So we had a conversation about a week ago, and I suggested speak to his employer. So he currently works as an desk assistant with one of the NHS trust, and there was never any conversation about sponsorship. So what we did was I told him last Monday to go speak with the employer and see if there's going to be a possibility, speak with the line manager, if there's any possibility of him being sponsored, being a band three, care assistant with the trust. And what they told him was that um, he could actually get sponsored. However, they would want him to have worked with the trust for 6 months. And luckily for him, he has been with them for over a year. And Now there's now conversation on the table now about them actually sponsoring him, which I think would help him stay back in the country and still have access to his kids and probably be able to live his life the normal way. But anyway, that's the current situation. What do you think about this situation? Please tell us your thoughts in the comment section. You're trying to make someone made the right decision. Do you think now that he's gonna get a visa, should he still continue with the marriage? Or what do you think he should do? Please state your thoughts in the comment section. If you're coming across the channel for the first time, do want to hit on the subscribe button to join amazing growing family. And for the subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So this will be the end of the video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.